we have. So tomorrow lo shricha kigoyin the ochel tamri. You ate dates v'kasover in the hama ochel, and he thought that he ate bread. Upazach b'din the hama. He started the bracha with as if it's a bracha on I guess a mazonis. V'sayim b'din tamri, and he finished off al arshal pairs. There it's yasa. Why? Tafilu sayim b'din the hama. Even if he finished the bracha thinking that it was bread, nami yotza. My timer, the tamri nami meiz and zayni. So I just want to see Rashi because Rashi makes it very explicit what we're talking about. And let's look at Rashi. Hainu ba'ayon. The birchas at tamarim al eitz priya. The bracha achroina. So that's how you see Rashi's learning. We're talking about a bracha achroina. The bracha achroina on tamarim is on. We say al eitz priya. And eina oil the birchas alechem. It wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good to pater up bread. Vibaha pashtus. Therefore, it would be very parallel to our shaila of chamer v'shikra. So the Gemara answers it speaking where we first had a zin to make a bracha on nahama, and then you finished with tamra, and the bracha of nahama of a hazon this oilam would also work for tamarim because tamarim are mezon zayni. So because of that, we still don't have an answer to our shaila. If you started the bracha with the wrong kavana, would it be a good bracha? So, right, if that wrong would have helped anyway, there's not a shaila. Right. So let's see Tosfos for the maskon over here. So Tosfos says, Lav lasuya nama. Upirish Balfus, the Rif is mefarish. Hashad loy of shita bayan. Now that the Gemara doesn't come up with the Gemara doesn't come up with a pshitus to the shaila, as lina lakula, we paskan lakula, meaning vafilu pasach b'chamra v'sayim b'shikra. You started off thinking you were making a boy pigofen, and you ended off with making the proper shackle. You'll be oitza because safek brachas lakula. So you don't make the bracha again. For riyah yomer lechomra, you actually have to be machmer to tzarich levorach pamacheres. So let's look at the Reb Kiveger in the Gilui Nashas, how he looks at this, because he wants to understand what this safek brachas lakula or lechomra is. So Zok the Gilui Nashas, v'loshayich hachalomer safek brachas lakula. The concept of safek brachas lakula that the Rif says will not apply here by brachas and henin. The kvarkosav harashab b'psachim kov beizam at aleph b'pirish rishbam the b'machla yachakoichay the loy shayich kain. You don't say the concept of safek brachas lakula el brachas hamitzvos. The brachas enim akvos. Since brachas are not makiv, so therefore if you have a safek, if you made the proper bracha or not, you don't make the bracha again, because if you didn't make the bracha, you'll be out of the mitzvah anyway. However, avol brachas and the henin, we know it's also lecha b'le bracha. So you can't say safek brachas lakula, because if you didn't make a bracha, you're not allowed to eat. So that's why Tosfos argues on the Rif and says over here you go l'chumra. You might say if I make the bracha again, it's a bracha l'batola. That's not a problem. A bracha l'batola means a bracha for no reason. Here you cannot eat. Since you cannot eat until you're sure you made the bracha, therefore Tosfos says that you don't say safek brachas l'kula here. Acher zer isi be'evan ha'ozer shekein kasav misvar denafshe v'levi deverusha. So we have a beautiful Tosfos that tells us that when it comes to brachas of nehenin, there's no such thing as safek brachas l'kula. Does who pass another way? That's right. I don't know. I guess we have to look it up in Shulchan Aruch to see what Beis Yosef passes. But it's a good point. It's a good point that maybe this five them hold differently. Umiyu hayomer ram. I think the mem changes it from rach to ram. Yes, the tzionim change it. If you know so sure you made a mistake, she'amar boyre priya eitz tachas priya gofen, the betoich chedei dibur yachal achsavoy. The halacha is you're allowed to be chosh toich chedei dibur. So if you make a bracha and you're chosh toich chedei dibur, that works. V'chein b'yomtov v'chasim shal yomtov imta b'mekadesh yishol v'azmanim v'omer mekadesh Shabbos, you're making kiddush or you're middle shminesrei, and by mistake you say the wrong bracha. Since anyway he knows it was Yom Tov when he was making the bracha, it was just a shiur delishna that caused him to say Mekadesh Shabbos. And now Tosfos has a very interesting kasha. What is our shaila? If I had the wrong kavana, Vavada mitzvahs ain't trichas kavana. You don't need to have kavana for mitzvahs. So why is there a problem that I was thinking boy pre when it should have been shako? I don't need kavana. But you saw this to teretz. If you hear something and you didn't have kavanah to be yotze, you could be yotze without having kavanah to be yotze. No kavanah might be passable, but the wrong kavanah, if I had bedaka kavanah for hagafin when I was supposed to do shahako, that's a problem.
Everyone should have mind to be Yossi of Brachos and mitzvahs a day and things. So I could be even if I didn't have mind here. So what's the same?
Yeah, of course. Mitzvahs ain't trichas kavana, but it doesn't mean you should bedafka not have kavana.
That would be hard, by the way.
Don't think about the brachas.
Yeah.
Okay. Shem yichud not going. It's like saying don't think about the big elephant.
No, but he makes a point.
Yeah, because you want to be out to the brachas.
But even if my cell phone went off in the middle there, I was thinking about an email or something.
But you're having kavanah.
It wouldn't be a problem.
I guess I'm still Yossi.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's go weiter. We are up to, I think, the two dots at the bottom. Omer Rabba Barchina Saba Mishmei de Rav. Kol Shaloi Omar Emes V'Yatzav Shachris the Emes V'Amuna Arvis. If you didn't say Emes V'Yatzav Shachris and Emes V'Amuna by Ma'ariv Lo Yotzi De Chavosai Shenemar Lahagid Baboik Chastecha V'Amunoscha B'Leilos.
You're not Yotze Krishma?
It can't be not Yotze Krishma. Maybe it means you're not Yotze Brichas Krishma. It says Lahagid Baboik Chastecha V'Amunoscha B'Leilos. Meaning, in the morning, let's have a look at Rashi. The Rashi says very nicely, Kol mi shelo yomer bechas emes v'yatzav k'mo sheteknua, v'chein emes v'amuna ba'arvis lo yatza, shenemar lahagid b'boiker chastecha, u'bechas emes v'yatzav kula al chesed she'asam aviseinu hi. The bracha of emes v'yatzav is about the chesadim that our Kodesh Baruch Hu has already done with us, such as Shoytzia miMitzrayim, Uvokal lehem hayam, the Herviram, and he took us over the Yam. Now the brechas emes v'amuna that we say by Ma'ariv is referring to the amuna that we have for the future. Medaber ba af al ha'asidois shon mitzapim sheikayim lanu haftachasoy ve'emunasoi lega'aleinu miyad malachim miyad aritzim v'losum nafshenu b'chaim u'la'adrichenu al bamas ha'ivenu kol ela anisim hatadirim tamid. So emes v'amuna is talking about the future brachas that we expect to continue to get, while the emes v'yatziv is referring to the chesadim that Hashem has already done with us. And that's actually in the pasuk where it says Lahagid Baboiker Chastecha. Baboiker is not only daytime, it's referring to Yeshuas that we've already had when things are going good for us. So we have to say praise to the Rebbeinu Shalom for all the good things that he did. But even when things are not going well, even when we're a Bechina of Laila, where we're having a difficult time, we have to have emunah that the Rebbeinu Shalom will save us in the future, just as he kept on saving us in the past. During the times where you're supposed to be bowing down, the halacha is karei b'baruch. You bow down by the baruch atah, but for the Hashem you stand up straight. My time with the Rav, what's as far as Rav? The Chsiv Hashem is Zoykev Kavuvim. Hashem makes you stand up straight. So when you say Shem Hashem, you have to be standing up straight. Meisvei, it says another pasuk, you're supposed to be humble in front of my name. So maybe you should stay bow down. So tomorrow you look at the pasuk more carefully. Miksiv Bishmi, it doesn't say by my name you should be humbled. It says Mipnei Shemi, before you mention my name. That's where you should be humbled. So the Baruch Atah is the part that's before Shem Hashem, and therefore for the Hashem you go basar the pasuk of Hashem Zoykev Kavuvim. Amal Shmuel Chibarav Bar Uriah. Ta, come here. Ve'emalach milsa mal yasa the Amar Avach. I'm going to tell you over a nice vart that your father said. Hachi Amar Avach kishu kareya b'baruch. When you bow down by a bracha, the bowing is by the baruch, and kishu zoykev b'shem. When you say Hashem, then you stand up straight. Let's turn over. Zot Sheishes, Kikara, when he would bow down, Kara Kechizra, he bowed down quick and straight like a stick, and Kikazokov, and when he stood back up, Zokov Kechivaya like a snake, meaning he first raised his head and then he slowly raised up his body. Okay. Better?
You can't see it. You can't see it.
Okay. V'amar Rabba Barchinina Saba Mishmei Rav. Kol Hashana Kula, all year long, Mispalel Hakel HaKadosh. We say Hakel HaKadosh by the bracha of HaKadosh, and by Melech HaMishpat we say Melech Oiv Tzedok HaMishpat. Chutz me'asar Yom Shebein Rosh Hashanah v'Yom HaKippurim. During Asher Shemei Tshuva, Shemispal HaMelech HaKadosh v'Melech HaMishpat. Rabbi Lazar Amar, Afilu Amar Hakel HaKadosh Yotza, even if you finished with Hakel HaKadosh, you're Yotza. We don't pass like that. Shenemar vayigba Hashem tzavakas b'mishpat, and it says v'akel hakadosh nikash b'tzedakah. So you see the word kel hakadosh applies even in the matzav of mishpat. Amos vayigba Hashem tzavakas b'mishpat. Elu asar yomim shemirei shonu ad yom kippurim v'ka'amar kel hakadosh. You see that with the evidence will be good. There's a shaila even in the Rishon. Some say even the chatchila is good. My havala. What's the halacha l'maisa? Amar v'yosef v'akel hakadosh u'melech oiv tzedakah mishpat is what you have to say. Rabba Amar, Amelech HaKadosh, Amelech HaMishpat, V'ilchus HaKarabba, we pass like Rabba that you're supposed to say Amelech HaKadosh and Amelech HaMishpat. I think it's kedai to jump into Tosfos, because Tosfos gives us again some halacha l'maisa. So Tosfos says, V'ilchus HaKavos the Rabba, so Tosfos, the Tzorch Lachtem, Amelech HaKadosh, V'Amelech HaMishpat, V'im lo yamar, Machzir Noisoi, you have to repeat it. I don't think we don't repeat by Amelech HaMishpat. That's right, because you said Melech anyway.
Yeah.
That's right. But this is another interesting part of Tosfos, which also we don't pass like. V'chein zechrenu u'michamoicha u'ksoiv l'chaim u'b'sefer chaim machzir noisoi im lo yomar, which we don't pass like that. I don't think.
We'd be doing it all day.
We're repeating success a lot. V'chol mishanu mimatbei shetov v'chachamim eina yochi lechavosoi v'chein pasuk Rabbeinu Yehuda. Now im savik lo im amar im lo yomar. Machzir noisoi during the Asher Shemei Tshuva, you always say it over. Kedisa b'Yerushalmi the tiniest parakama. By mispal the eni idea im hizker talamoter imlav. So by saying talamoter, if you don't know if you said it or not, kol shloshim yoyim b'cheska shloilom. For 30 days, we say you still have your old habits, and we won't say that your shiur delishna will be the same talamoter until you were already saying it for 30 days. Pirush shloy amar elakamoy shulamad adata shloy amar king. So for the first 30 days, he would have, if he would say it without thinking, he would probably just say the same bracha, which is what he was saying until then, until it's already in his pattern for 30 days. And therefore, from came by Sheish Mechuba, the Lekha Shloshim Yom Tzarech Laser. By Sheish Mechuba, you never have 30 days, so because of that, when in doubt, you have to say it over. And then it says, "Varam Kosov the Ein Machzir Nois in the Kolosh and the Vorm to like Pasak the Sefer Beferish." Maybe right the Vorm. I don't even know what the Ram. Does anybody know what the Ram is referring to? Things that aren't Paskin in the Sefer Beferish, those things you don't make them go back for. Does anybody know what that might be referring to? Because I don't. If it doesn't say in the Gemara that Machzir Nois, then you don't make them say it over. Meaning Zochein L'Chaim. Also, he's arguing on Tosfos Frier, who says that by Zochein L'Chaim you have to say it over. Okay, so that's Pshat. Okay, excellent.
What do you mean? Anything that
I don't know. Can we read the Rambam? I don't know who it is. Yeah, but below it always says if you say it a whole bunch of times, it gets according to a certain sheet, it gets your sugar distance. I guess you could. Yeah, but I mean, you have to have a lot of time on your hands.
You're talking about the whole davening and.
So here we have an interesting shaila. What's the halacha? What is the halacha if you forget to say Yalav Yov on a Chodesh by Ma'ariv? Do you repeat Shemini Esrei?
No.
Why not? Because Ma'ariv is not chiyuv.
Yeah.
If you forget to say Yalav Yov, you're Chodesh by Ma'ariv.
No, not for that reason. It's because because the Adam in the time of the Beis Hamikdash
Only came during the day.
That's right.
So he brings down. So Oibazoi on the first night Rosh Hashanah, if you forget to say Hakel HaKadosh, do you have to say Shemini Esrei over again?
Okay. So
For the same reason.
That's a Yom Arich. There's our two. That's
But the first night again. So the Chai Adam says that Ma'ariv and Rosh Hashanah, if you didn't say Melech HaKadosh, you don't have to say it over again. And Rabbi Moshe explains the reason is because exactly what you said. Because Kiddush HaChodesh is only done by day. So the first night they weren't Mekadosh HaChodesh. They didn't usher into Yom Adin yet. And in fact, you wouldn't have to say it over by Ma'ariv. But the Shlomo Zalman Auerbach argues, and he says that you would have to say Ma'ariv over again. I guess we would have to ask Rabbi Louie what to do. But it would be very embarrassing the first day of Rosh Hashanah to come and say I spaced out by Achel HaKodesh. So we have to find somebody with the guts. So now is the time to ask. Because if you have to ask him Rosh Hashanah by night, it's very embarrassing. But we're learning the sugya, not from the Gale Mice, of course. I just want to know, because I'm learning the sugya, the Lochavi. It's like the famous story where somebody went to the Satmar Rebbe and said, my friend sent me to ask you a question. He did this terrible Avera, and he wants to know how we should be able to be Mesaked that Avera. So the Satmar Rebbe chuckled and said, he could have come himself and said that you sent him. Okay.
One second. On Rosh Hashanah, which is the real Rosh Hashanah, the first day or the second day?
The first day.
Are you sure?
It depends which day it's your duffets. If you ask Eli Lostroch, he'll say the first day. If you ask just Gasper, he'll say the second day. It all depends.
Well, the first day is Aleph.
Yeah, the first day is Aleph. Yeah, it's not like Rosh Chodesh where the first day is Lamed. That's right.
Yeah, it's a Yom Arich.
Yeah, the first day is Aleph.
They weren't sure if it was the first day or the second day, right? So,
right, so they kept doing it longer because maybe the other places didn't find out about it till later.
Okay, let's go weiter. Rabbi Bar Chidna Saba Mishmei Rab. Rabbi Bar Chidna Saba said in the name of Rab, Kol she'ef shirloi levakish rachmim al chaveroi. If somebody has an opportunity to ask for rachmim on behalf of his friend, ve'enim mevakish, and he doesn't do that, nikra chote, that's called a chote. Shenemar gam anoichi chalil li mechatoy l'Hashem. I believe there's a Shmuel Hanavi talking. Gam anoichi chalil li mechatoy l'Hashem mechadoil lehispal batchem. Chalil li for doing an avera of not davening on behalf of you. V'reisi eschem b'der chatoy v'yashar. So Shmuel is saying it would be an avera if he didn't daven for Klal Yisrael. Amar Rava said, "Im Talmud Chachamu," and if the person who needs help, who needs Rachim Shemayim, is a Talmud Chacham, and the Bach sticks in, "V'tzorach l'rachamim," then tzorach sheyech la'atzmei alov. Then you have to go all out and even make yourself sick over davening for this person with the Talmud Chacham. My time, what would you say is the reason? How do we know that you have to make yourself sick if it's a Talmud Chacham? Sagt die Gemara, this is when Shaul was complaining that nobody had told him that his Yonason went and teamed up with David HaMelech, and he was upset that nobody told him. And it says, nobody was sick for me. In other words, it didn't bother anybody that I was somewhat in trouble. Maybe for a melech, you have to make yourself sick. But who said for a regular person? So the pasuk says over here, and that's not referring to it's not referring to a melech. Rashi says he was referring to doig nachitoifel, who were talmidei chachamim. David HaMelech was referring to doig and nachitoifel, which were talmidei chachamim. So you see, he's making himself sick over their needs. I'm sorry. So I think it means even just saying Tehillim in general for somebody, because it brings down from the Chasukei Shemet. If you come very late to davening, there's parts of Sukkah the Zimmer that you can skip. So what happens if you came late and you had to leave right after davening? It's not like you could leave. And right after davening, you want to be mashlim the pieces of Sukkah the Zimmer that you skipped, but the tzibur is saying Tehillim for someone who needs Rachmei Shemayim. So the Chasukei Shemet says, in order that you shouldn't be a chayte, better say Tehillim with the tzibur than finish off the davening, because you don't want to be considered a chayte. And he says that's why a person, for the same reason, you don't want to be a chayte. When the Gabi makes a mishaberach l'chayla, it's incumbent on everybody to be quiet and to say Amen. Otherwise, it could be considered a chayte. I'm sorry?
This means it's a whole tefillah. It's not just one name. It's a whole appeal.
Because there's so many chaylim.
Yeah, but he gives me a whole list over there.
Yeah, but Alpha Pekin, he brings down that you're supposed to
hear him. On Shabbos, for sure, can hear him. Once they got this clear.
You have to say. I mean, well, the names you don't always say aloud for privacy purposes.
Not really.
But okay. Zok more basho. V'amar Rabba b'china. Have a chatzach today. V'amar Rabba b'china. V'amar Rabba b'china saba b'shmei derav. Kol oised dvar avera. U'misbayish boy. If someone doesn't avera and he's embarrassed by it, moichel le'al kol b'noisov. The mere fact that you're embarrassed by your averas makes Hashem be moichel. Shinemar it says, Leman tizkiri. V'avoisht. You remembered and you're embarrassed, and then and you're embarrassed because of you're embarrassed and you can't even talk because of your embarrassment. And then it says so you see that there is a kapara on someone who's embarrassed by his affairs. No mashem alakim. So kamar dimol tzibur shiny. Maybe a tzibur who's embarrassed by their affairs, because that's what it was talking about in Yecheskel. Maybe there's a kapara. How do you know even a yachid who's embarrassed from his affairs? How do you know that automatically gives him a kapara? What happened was Shmuel was resting in peace, and all of a sudden, while he's resting, he was not alive. Someone comes up to him in Gan Eden and says, "Shmuel, you got a visitor." So he says, "Really? I'm in the middle of a massage. How could you bother me?" Sorry, you got a visitor. You got to go. So Shmuel goes, and there's Shaul waiting for him. She doesn't like that. So he went to Shaul and he told Shaul, "Lama Hargastani, why did you bother me?" The neshama is bothered. He was upset that Shaul bothered him. Lahalis oisi to pull me up. V'yomer Shaul, I have no choice. I'm in a really tight spot. Tsar limoy, u'plishtim no chamambi. Their plishtim are fighting with me. V'lakim sarmay alai. The Shechina went away from me. V'loyanoni, and he's not answering me. V'loyani oid gambi ad neviim. He's not answering me through the neviim. Gam b'chaloimoy. She's not answering me through chaloimoy. So since I'm stuck, that's why I'm calling you to tell me ma'asa. I'm reaching out to you because I don't have anywhere else to turn. How come he didn't say that the Urim V'Turim wasn't responding to me? The teretz is because he destroyed it. He is the one who destroyed Noiv Ira Kayanim. So it's because of him that there was no Urim V'Tumim. So had he mentioned, and there's also no Urim V'Tumim, Shmuel would have said that you yourself did to yourself, and he was embarrassed to bring that up. So the mere fact that Shaul was embarrassed to mention that he destroyed Noiv Ira Kayanim, that itself was a kapara. Where do you see there's a kapara? How do you see, in fact, that they were moichelim because of it? Because it says, the famous story with the two friends, one who died first, and he came back to his friend in the stream. He says, good news and bad news. The bad news is that you're pitching tomorrow, right? So Shmuel Hanovi told this to show that you're going to get into a war and the Pelishtim are going to kill you. Tomorrow, you and your son are going to be joining me up here in Shemayim. So he told Shaul what to expect. But Imi is a good sign because the Gemara is Shmuel told Shaul that you'll be able to be with me in Gan Eden. So you see that Shaul had a complete kapara because he was with Shmuel and Navi in Gan Eden. That's a pretty good place.
Because he was embarrassed. He murdered all the Kehanim.
And he was embarrassed, and the Rebbeinu was moichel. Rabban Amri Mehacha, V'ikanim Lashem Begiv Shaul. This is one of the sad stories. The Gevonim, they used to earn a living by selling water and bringing wood to Noiv Ira Kayanim. And when Shaul killed out Noiv Ira Kayanim, there were 7 victims of the Gevonim there, and after that, the parnos of the Gevonim got wiped out because they had no one to service anymore. The entire customer base got wiped out in one day. So they wanted revenge, and they asked for a very brutal revenge. They wanted 7 people from Beis Shaul. They wanted David to give up 7 people from Beis Shaul to murder as a revenge. So it says Vaykanim Hashem Begiv Shaul, and then it says Bechir Hashem. Clearly, when they're asking for revenge on Shaul, they're not saying give us 7 people in place of Shaul Bechir Hashem, because they don't like Shaul. So clearly, the word Bechir Hashem that's added on to the words of the Gevonim when they said Vaykanim Hashem Begiv Shaul, That's clearly Hashem talking. Yotza Baskol Rama Becher Hashem. So you see the Torah, the Rebbeinu Shalom, the Baskol refers to Shol with the suffix of Becher Hashem. Clearly, they were Moichel Shol because of that Becher Hashem. So Rabbi Lowy once said over in the Shabbos Shuvah, a beautiful story. The Panovich Yerov was once in South America, and there were signs on the posts that there was going to be a debate between an Orthodox rabbi and a Friar rabbi. So the Panovich Yerov was a character, and he was intrigued. So and there was an open debate. So he said, "I'm going to go." So he's there by the debate, and as is usual, the truth wins out, and the Orthodox rabbi is starting to inflict some knockout punches on the conservative or Reform rabbi, until the Reform rabbi turns to the Orthodox rabbi and tells him, "Rabbi, you preach a good game, but wasn't that you I saw last week on Saturday in McDonald's?" And this rabbi turns red like a beet. So he says, "So you drove on Shabbos, you ate treif, and you're preaching to me about the Torah? You're a fake, phony, and fraud. As a matter of fact, all of Orthodoxy is merely fake, phony, and fraudulent. You just try to make yourself better than us, but you're a fake, you're a phony, you're a fraud. The whole of the Orthodoxy is a fake, phony, and fraud. Knockout punch." So the Panovich Rav, standing there in the audience and sees Achil Hashem, he gets up and says, "Can I say a couple of words?" So of course, this is an open debate. Anybody can say their opinion. So the Panovich Rav turns to the Reform rabbi and says, "Let me ask you, Reform rabbi, do you drive on Shabbos?" He says, "Of course I drive on Shabbos, and I'm proud of it. Do you think I'm going to subject myself to those antiquated, crazy customs that are so irrelevant nowadays? And do you eat non-kosher food?" He says, "Of course, I'm proud of it. I enjoy a succulent sirloin steak. I enjoy a delicious piece of ham. I enjoy my bacon. Of course, all these laws are antiquated, they're irrelevant." It's told to Rav, that's the difference. It says in the Pasuk, if your Averis embarrass you and you make you red, you're proud of your Averis. But look at this rabbi, he turned red like a beet when you accused him. If our Averis make us embarrassed, then Hashem will be moichel us. So sure, Orthodox people do Averis, but we're embarrassed by those Averis. Because of that, Hashem is moichel us. So you see clearly just the embarrassment is enough.
Go do the affair and then be embarrassed, and you're okay.
We have to get caught.
Yeah.
We have to get caught. Amar Rabbi Vo ben Zetrasi, Amar Rabbi Yehuda bar Zvida. Bikshu l'kvoya Pashtus Balak l'Krishma. They wanted to add Pashtus Balak into the Krishma. Why didn't they? And that's because it talks about how Hashem saved us. Why isn't it in Krishma? Because it would be a big tircha to learn the whole parsha of Balak every time we say Krishma. My time, what's the reason why they wanted to include Balak in Krishma? So we're thanking our Kadosh Baruch Hu for taking us out of Mitzrayim. Well, for that, Dr. Gemara, there are other parshas that aren't nearly as long that also include Yetzias Mitzrayim. Why go for such a long one? It says Kara Shachav Kari Uchalavi Miyukibenu. So Rashi says it alludes to B'Shach B'Kumecha. So that's why they wanted B'Davka to put Balak into Krishma.
That whole story didn't turn out so good, though. The Balak and Bilam story, like.
Well, the next Eitzah didn't turn out well.
What was it? Yeah, but they're all connected. It's really one story.
We wouldn't have said that part. But Frank the Gemara, why didn't you just pick the key psukim and leave out the rest? So the Gemara, we learned called Pasha, the Pascha Moshe Rabbeinu Paskinon, a Pasha the Moshe Rabbeinu split up. We'll split up. The Loi Pascha Moshe Rabbeinu Loi Paskinon, and since it's one Pasha, we don't split it up. However, he brings down from I think the Ger Rebbe. The Ger Rebbe says that by Matoivu, which Matoivu is where they put in a little bit of a remez to Parshas Balak. And when we say Matoivu Lech Yaakov, we also have to have in mind that the Rebbeinu Shem saved us from the Eitz of Bilam Rasha. Parshas Tzitzis b'Pnei Makavur. Why is the Parsha of Tzitzis in Krishma? It has 5 things in it. Some of it will be obvious, some won't be obvious. Mitzvah Tzitzis is obvious, Yetzias Mitzrayim is obvious. Other mitzvahs is obvious. But it has Das Minim, here Havera, here Avodah Zarah. So what are these things? By the way, the Aram Gemara says Chamisha Devarim, but the Girsai is at the side that Tzionim say it's Shisha Devarim, because there's 6 things. So the Gemara is going to go through. Bishlam Hani Kloss and Mefarshim. Oil mitzvahs the chsiv or isam oisai. Uzachayt em kol mitzvahs Hashem. Tzitzis the chsiv asulam tzitzis. Yitzis u'shayim the chsiv asher etzesi. Eladas meaning here avera and here avodah zarah minol. And where do you see that in the parsha of tzitzis? The Tanya achrei levavchem zu minas. So there you have das minas. V'cheinu omer amar novo b'liboy ein elokim. So you see that the achrei levavchem is referring to minas. Achrei nechem is here avera. Shenemar avera mishim shem alviv. Oisa kachli ki yishar be'enai. So Shimshon went after his eyes. So you see, Achrei Nechem is referring to here Avera, and Natam Zoinim is Zehir Avodah Zarah. V'cheinu Omer v'yizonu Achrei Ba'olam v'yiznu Achrei Ba'olam. So you see the lashon v'yiznu is a lashon of Avodah Zarah. Okay, I think we could stop here.
Okay.
So the boys asked the shop.
I ended up reporting it, but there's an internet issue and a hardware issue. I got both. So I'm going to try to fix it. We'll be back on tomorrow.
Because this was the back door.
Okay, Shkaya.
This was a back
This
door.
is the emergency broadcasting system.
He only wanted her because of her looks.
Shkaya.
If she was rich, Mamila.
Why did you decide that the reason why the Gemara doesn't like Parshas Balak if it's like 9 years?
The Gemara said it.
The Gemara says because
Tirchat et Zibur. No, I didn't decide that. No, I might.